In the village of Thorn Hollow, nestled between jagged mountains and a forest that hummed with unseen life, there existed a curse, or so the villagers claimed. Years ago, the river that fed their crops had dried to a whisper, leaving the land cracked and gasping. The once lush fields now yielded only dust, and the forest, which had long provided herbs and game, grew hostile. Trees twisted into clawed shapes, and shadows seemed to stalk the edges of the wood. The villagers blamed Alara. Alara had been born on the night the river first faltered. Her mismatched eyes and peculiar ways, singing to wilted flowers, leaving offerings of berries at the forest's edge, fueled their fear. They called her Hollow Child, accusing her of drawing the land's vitality into herself. Children mimicked her lopsided gait, a remnant of a childhood fever, and mothers hung hawthorn branches above their doors to ward off her sorcery. Only Old Thistle, who dwelled in her herb-scented hut, showed her kindness. "The earth speaks to those who listen," she'd say, pressing a sprig of rosemary into Alara's hand. Garen the blacksmith neither scorned nor defended her. He kept to his forge, pounding metal into tools and swords, his scars gleaming in the firelight. But sometimes, when Alara passed his shop, she'd find a warm iron nail or a tiny copper leaf left on the stoop, a silent offering. One scorching summer, the drought worsened. The villagers' wells spat grit, and the forest whispers became screams. Desperate, they turned to Old Thistle. "You commune with spirits," they begged, "make the rains return." The herbalist shook her head. "The land is wounded, not cursed. It needs healing, not demands." That night, Alara crept into the forest, her patchwork dress blending with the shadows. Line, she followed the sound of weeping, a sound only she could hear until she found the source. A skeletal willow tree, its branches splintered, its roots clutching a parched pond. At its base lay a stone, cracked and oozing a viscous black liquid. The willow's leaves trembled as she approached. "You're hurting," she whispered, pressing her palm to the bark. The tree shuddered, and images flooded her mind. The stone, buried long ago by a vengeful traveler, poisoning the earth. Alara returned to the village at dawn, her hands stained black. "The forest is sick," she told Old Thistle. "There's a venom in its heart. If we remove it, the land might heal." The villagers scoffed. "More witchcraft," they hissed. But Garen, leaning in the doorway of his forge, studied her. "Where is this poison?" With Garen's strength and Old Thistle's knowledge, they ventured into the forest. The willow greeted them with a groan, its roots coiled around the cursed stone. Garen pried it free with his crowbar, his muscles straining, while Old Thistle chanted over the wound, packing it with sage and honey. Alara knelt in the dust, her hands splayed over the earth, humming a wordless tune. As the stone was dragged into sunlight, it shattered, releasing a sigh that echoed across the valley. Clouds gathered, not the searing white of drought, but heavy, gray-bellied giants. The first raindrop struck Alara's cheek, and she laughed, her mismatched eyes gleaming. The storm lasted 3 days. Rivers surged, roots drank deeply, and the willow tree blossomed, its branches cascading with emerald leaves. The villagers emerged from their homes, stunned as Thorn Hollow awoke from its long slumber. Yet Alara did not stay to celebrate. She vanished into the forest, her footprints washed away by rain. Some say she became part of the willow, her voice the rustle of its leaves. Garen hung a copper leaf above his forge, its edges worn smooth by his thumb. Old Thistle smiled whenever the wind carried the scent of damp soil. "The earth never forgets," she'd murmur. Years later, travelers would speak of a girl with autumn hair and twilight eyes, who appeared during droughts to lead the lost to hidden springs. They called her the Willow's Whisper, a reminder that even in barrenness, kindness roots itself deepest.